Welcome back, everybody. We're approaching 6:40, and joining us now is Squire Babcock. Squire is a professor at on the other end of our fine state. Where do you teach again?
At Murray State.
At Murray State. There you go. And he is here in town this weekend for an appearance and a book sign. We'll get to that in a minute. But we're talking about your book. It's The King of Gaheena is his new novel. And Squire, you had an interesting past, and this kind of inspired you, I guess, maybe for the new book that you have here. Talk a little bit about kind of the things that you were in at one point in your life before you turned things around.
Well, when I was fresh out of high school, things were not going well for me, and I got in some trouble. I grew up in Louisville. I got in some trouble with the law, taking drugs and so forth, and so it took me a while to recover from that. I think I was part of a generation, in fact. This was in the late 60s, early 70s. I was part of a generation who was having trouble kind of dealing with new realities and drugs and, you know, all kinds of changes in society. And so I was just one of that pack. And I came out of it slowly. I decided I wanted to go to college at about 30, and I managed to get through that and get through a graduate degree and make it to being a professor. It sounds easy, but it was a long road. Right. And writing this book has been, I think, part of the process of understanding what I was going through and growing up through it and coming to write about it and maybe speak for our generation a little bit about what we went through. This
takes place in the early 70s in Louisville. Semi-autobiographical?
Yes, of course it is. You know, there are some things in here that didn't happen to me. I didn't inherit a company, and my parents lived lived long lives and so forth. But yeah, semi-autobiographical. I'm writing, I hope, about a generation and not just myself.
Good deal. And you are in town for a book signing. Tell people where tomorrow they can pick up a copy of your book as well as meet you and talk to you about this story.
Well, I'm going to give a little bit of a reading from the book and sign some copies at Joseph Beth Bookstore here in Lexington at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
2 until?
2 until the last person standing.
There you go. And if people want to find your book, you can find it at normal places, right?
Yeah, Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, your local bookstore can order it if they don't have it in, and so forth.
Good deal. Well, Squire, good luck with that book signing tomorrow. And the good thing about the book signing is it's going to be inside, so regardless of what the weather decides to do,
that's right,
people can come out there to Joseph Beth there, of course, in Lexington Green to meet you. Squire Babcock, pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Good luck to you. Speaking of that weather, Mary will be back in next to let us know when it's going to rain and if it's going to rain. Stay with us.